Romans 9:20-21. No, don't say that. Who are you, a mere human being, to argue with God? Should the thing that was created say to the one who created it, "Why have you made me like this?" When a potter makes jars out of clay, doesn't he have a right to use the same lump of clay to make one jar for decoration and another to throw garbage into?
Bonjour, epeka to my little corner of the internet. My name is Yara de Julio, and today's topic is shock collar syndrome. Before we get started, I would like to apologize for the tapping or pitter-patter you hear in the background. It is raining today, and if I do say so myself, it is very beautiful. I would love to stand on the patio and watch it fall, but I'll settle for sitting in front of my window for today, simply for the sheer fact that I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to smell like wet dog when I come back inside. But on to today's topic. Today's topic, shock collar syndrome. Now, shock collar syndrome isn't actually a word, nor is it a term. So it was inspired by one of my favorite bands, Foxing. The song that it specifically comes from is Grand Paradise, and the way that I like to define shock collar syndrome specifically is having the necessary tools to achieve your dreams, but lacking the capability and the confidence to actually use those tools to materialize said dreams. Now, I wouldn't say I couldn't become a professional artist. I absolutely could, but I actively choose not to, because one, I need money.
Just give me my money.
Two, I know myself.
Who are you? 'Cause everything's meant to be broken. Can I know that you know who I am?
And three, I have a very Caribbean mother. So given all those reasons, given all those factors, just not a very good idea at this point in my life to choose to become a professional artist. In addition, I can tend to become a little bit obsessive and a tad too invested in certain things, in different creative processes like art and poetry and writing and learning new things that I'm very, very interested in. And given that I can become obsessive over those things, I make the conscious effort to divert from making those things too serious, if that's the way to put it. But anywho, since the dawn of my consciousness, I've had this raw, unwavering obsession with perfectionism, and it has inhibited me from fully tapping into a lot of things I enjoy doing. The best way I can describe the feeling that it invokes is like it's like walking through life with your hands tied, or trying to dance with cemented shoes. You're moving, but your range of motion is extremely limited. You can't quite align your body with the tone and the beat and the bass of the music, and it's frustrating. So you end up like flailing like a dead fish, like a dead fish on the bank. What an odd description, but yes. So what I tend to do is I tend to excessively plan, schedule, sketch, and nitpick at every little thing that brings me joy until I suck the joy right out of it. I turn my passions into another beast. They become just another vessel to funnel my feelings of inadequacy regarding the things that I create. And you know what the worst part of it all is? That it leads to stagnation. And that stagnation further fuels my frustration even more. I'm Because I'm not only frustrated that the vision isn't fulfilling itself, but I'm also frustrated at the fact that I'm not moving forward. I'm not getting anywhere. So instead of doing, instead of creating, I end up just sitting there, waiting for some magical moment where I can look at my work and genuinely appreciate it. I wouldn't say praise, because let's not get too carried away. I'm not Picasso, but appreciate. I think that's a more appropriate term. I'm not able to appreciate it without critiquing it, without cruelty, without tearing myself down or altogether crumbling the idea that I had before. I've got this idea of perfection, but my hands won't bend to the will of my mind. So I'm left with nothing but fury potential, an itch to turn into something real, something tangible, something kinetic. And I've been trying to figure out a way to work around this, given that I have a little bit more time on my hands now that I've graduated from nursing school and I've gotten all the final exams out of the way, walked the stage and what have you not. I don't know how to use the time that I have now in a creative way. I'm very good at managing my time in regards to academics and a job and internships, but when it comes to hobbies and creativity, I feel extremely guilty for dedicating time to those things instead of dedicating times to things that are more quote-unquote important. So I've been thinking about how I can break out of this self-inflicted purgatory and create a space where my creativity can actually breathe, so I can be reassured and have provisions to recall when I doubt my capability to be creative. During this time where I can breathe, where there's no more tests and there's no more exams. Wait a minute, there's the NCLEX, but that's not really a big deal. There's no more, major tests, nothing to confine me or constrict my movement. It's a time where I can just be, I can just exist and do things that I like to do. Yes, there are things that need to be done regarding further education and job searches and this and that, but this time now is for me, and I need to learn to accept that without feeling guilty. I have to, even now what I'm actively doing is I'm constantly reminding myself that I am deserving of this time and I worked hard for it. And if I don't do the things that I love to do, if I don't tap into my hobbies, I not only will lose them, but I'll also lose my sense of self. I'll lose those things that make me me. Like I'll lose my childish, creative nature. I'll lose those characteristics. And who wants to be around an adult who doesn't know how to be a kid sometimes? I've come to the realization that I just have to do it. Like I have to push through that discomfort. I have to push through that guilt, and I have to remind myself that I am deserving of this time, and this is for me. I need to do this for me, and it is okay to do those things for self. Even when the little voice in my head is criticizing me and it's telling me that this isn't a good use of time, that's not right, it isn't perfect, maybe you should just scrap the whole idea, I have to just keep going. Even if I feel as though my creative skills don't match the vision in my head, I just have to do. Nike, don't sue me. So overall, people don't become who God has ordained them to be by scrutinizing the elements of the bigger picture. If we scrutinize the elements of the bigger pictures and get lost in the details, we'll never walk into the full fruition of who we are supposed to be. In conclusion, merci un peu for listening to my discussion. Please don't be afraid to weigh in the comment section with your own thoughts and your own experiences regarding shock collar syndrome. I'll be more than happy to read them. And as always, I'm open to constructive criticism, so you are more than welcome to leave your critiques in the comment section as well. Once again, merci un peu, no wipito. See you later.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are